So good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 6th Annual Historical and Emerging Leaders Recognition Reception. My name is Stratton and I currently serve as the president for the MSU Black Faculty Staff and Administrators Association, or what we affectionately call BFSAA. We welcome you into this space and encourage you to relax and take in these moments we will be spending together. In a time where we have been physically and socially distanced, and with recognizing we are in yet another virtual event, it is our sincere hope that you find refuge in being together in this space at this time as we celebrate excellence, service, and commitment. I want to take this moment now to recognize all those who help lead, direct, and administrate core aspects of the university using the reactions button or turning on your cameras. We want you to provide a thumbs up as we call whatever categories that you most identify with. So if we have any university trustees, please go ahead and do a thumbs up for us. Thank you. Executive and senior level leaders. Thank you. Vice President, Associate, and Assistant Vice Presidents. Great to have you here. Deans, Interim Deans, Senior, Associate, and Assistant Deans. Thank you. Chairs and School Directors. Thank you. Associate and Assistant Directors, Coordinators, and Managers. Thank you. Assistants to and support staff for any of the categories previously mentioned. Great to have you in the place. Any faculty, academic specialists, postdocs, academic and/or support staff. Thank you. All DEI leaders, advocates, and allies, and any identity and affinity association or group leaders. Great to have you here. All undergraduate and graduate students. Thank you. And the Greater Lansing area leaders, business owners, and community advocates. Wonderful. And finally, any and all of our esteemed guests and community supporters that are here with us this evening. Great, thank you. So thank you all for being here. We appreciate you for choosing to spend time with us this evening. And we thank each of you for your role in helping support MSU's goal to be a supportive and inclusive community for all. Now, I want to invite each of you to add a save the date to your calendar for our 7th annual recognition reception on April 11, 2023. And I want to say this out loud, that we want to work toward forever letting it be known that on the 2nd Tuesday of April, BFSAA will host our annual recognition reception. So thank you in advance for saving the date on your calendars for this wonderful community experience and opportunity. Now, I want to invite each of you, I now want to invite Ms. Michaela Barker, a master's candidate and recording artist, to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Michaela is an East Lansing native, a graduate of Oehmke High School, The Ohio State University, and currently a graduate student at Yale University. Michaela has actively been involved within the Greater Lansing community as a member of the Les Marais Debutantes of Greater Lansing, Jack and Jill of America, Greater Lansing Chapter, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Chi Epsilon Omega Chapter. We have posted in the chat Michaela's full biography. Please take a moment to read that and we encourage you to engage with her music and upcoming album, Lioness. Welcome, Michaela.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here today. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michaela, for that moving presentation of this song that carries so much meaning for our community. We truly appreciate you, and thank you for taking the time to be with us here this evening. Now, the truth about our BFSAA community is that we value relationships, and to support engagement in building strong and healthy ones, we invite each of you to join a breakout room for 5 minutes or so to meet and greet someone new or someone you're unfamiliar with, or someone you're familiar with. During this time, we ask you to share an experience or a person that positively impacted you while at MSU. And when you re-enter this main space, we're going to invite you to type in the chat your response of what you shared. So allow us one moment to open up the breakout rooms. And again, you will share an experience or person that positively impacted you during your time here at MSU. Sorry, my computer's freezing. So let's see. All right, here we go. So in a moment, all the rooms will open. There'll be about 4 people that have been randomly assigned to your room. And please share an experience or a person that positively impacted you at MSU. So welcome back. Please take a moment to type in the chat what you shared as we continue forward with our program. A little history about the Historical and Emerging Leaders Recognition Reception is 7 years ago, BFSAA identified a need within our community. People were asking for a formal recognition of the accomplishments and successes of African-American employees and students. And this was such a pressing concern that we added an annual recognition to our strategic plan, ensuring that we lead the way in celebrating the diversity of work, efforts, and successes of those within our communities. We modeled our approach to this work after an earlier rendition of this celebration that took place in around 2011 under the leadership of Dr. Matthew Anderson. We expanded the program from recognizing historic and emerging leaders to celebrating contemporary, inspirational, and community leaders as well. We want to acknowledge and honor the continuum of Black leadership by expanding our categories. And this has allowed us to be intentionally inclusive of persons in different stages and expressions of leadership. Our Historical and Emerging Leaders Committee and subcommittees take several months each year to solicit nominations across our 5 categories. It is their work which has led us to this very moment, where we will learn, commemorate, and celebrate the accomplishments of known and unknown leaders across our community. We look forward to growing the program each year, and we ask that in the coming year that you consider supporting our Emerging Leaders Scholarship, which awards $500 to our top students. We want to expand this opportunity as we go forward. So as we prepare to transition to the presentation of our 2022 awardees, we want to share that all recipients will receive a plaque recognizing their accomplishments, and our top emerging leaders will be awarded a $500 scholarship. I now invite Ms. Tammye Coles, Associate Director of Student Life, Leadership Development, and Fall Welcome, forward. She will lead us through the remainder of this presentation and experience. Thank you.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Welcome again. Thank you very much, President Stratton. I just love hearing that. President Lee, I just love hearing that. So thank you very much for that introduction. Welcome again to our program. I am broadcasting live from the beautiful Kellogg Center on the cusp of campus. So again, welcome. My name is Tammye Coles. I serve as the Associate Director in the Department of Student Involvement and Leadership in the Division of Student Life and Engagement. I am honored to serve as your host as we present the historical, contemporary, inspirational, and community award segment of our program. The Michigan State University Black Faculty and Staff Association created these award programs several years ago to honor the historical and contemporary leaders, as well as community leaders who advance the MSU Black community. The Inspirational Award and the Community Award are also awards that we present. The Community Award is an award granted to a person who provides us an opportunity to recognize Black individuals, organizations, institutions, or businesses that have contributed significantly to the advancement or well-being of Blacks in the Greater Lansing community. The Inspirational Award is presented to a person who motivates others to bring out the best in themselves, a person who leads by example and encourages others to feel there is something worthwhile to become and do. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our speakers this evening, who will introduce our 2022 Contemporary, Historical, Inspirational Award and the Community Leader Award recipients. I have the honor of introducing the first 2022 MSU Black Faculty and Staff Association Contemporary Award, Dr. Patricia James Oehmke. Dr. Oehmke was recruited by Michigan State University to be a varsity member of the Michigan State University swimming and dive team in 1979. While an undergraduate at Michigan State University, she not only excelled in the classroom as an exceptional scholar, but excelled in athletics as well. While she was not the first African-American swimmer to attend and become a member of the swimming and diving team at Michigan State University, she does hold the distinction of being the first NC2A national qualifier. She also qualified to be a member of the USA 1980 Olympic team, but was never able to realize her dream of participating in the Olympics as an Olympian, as the Olympics were held in Russia in 1980. And in protest and support of better human rights treatment for all people in Russia, the United States, along with many other countries, boycotted the 1980 Olympic Games. While this was her dream to become an Olympian and most likely would have become one, Dr. Oehmke used this experience to set in motion a tenacity and resilience to unfair and unjust circumstances she has encountered in life, and uses such experiences as foundational building blocks of success. She works to serve as a role model for others to do the same. She believes Michigan State University has contributed to the scholar and professional she is today. Upon completion of her undergraduate degree, Dr. Oehmke went on to earn her master's and her bachelor's degree from Michigan State University. Also during that time, she began to work at Michigan State University in 1985 as the intramural sports and services manager, and today serves as the associate director in the Department of Recreational and Fitness Services, Michigan State University, and manages the entire IM East facility. Over the years, she has witnessed numerous administrative changes at the departmental, divisional, and executive level at Michigan State, with each administrative change bringing a different facet to the respective area of administration. Her time at Michigan State University has been personally fulfilling, and she is most proud of the support she has provided students by providing them the tools they need to navigate the university system, with the hope of helping them learn strategies and tools they can use to assist them in being successful. One of her former supervisors always told her, make sure when you pick up your check at the end of the month, you have earned your check. This statement has stuck with Dr. Oehmke over the years, and she works hard to earn her check every month as she invests in Spartan scholars and hopefully that her investment will allow them to invest in the greater society. She enjoys working with and learning from students. Dr. Oehmke is most proud of her work of developing and sustaining Spartan scholars. A former student shares, I count Dr. Oehmke as a blessing to my colleagues' experience. She has driven me to work hard as it relates to academics, and has encouraged me to seek out diverse experiences, and in many ways kept me from making some very bad decisions that could have been very detrimental to my future. Many students owe their very success to Dr. Oehmke, and some even owe their very lives for all that she has done to assist them. Dr. Oehmke is most deserving of being selected as the 2022 BFSAA Contemporary Leader for serving as an exemplary Spartan ambassador, dedicated and committed to service to the uplifting and advancement of the Black community at Michigan State University and beyond. Dr. Oehmke is therefore granted the 2022 MSU Black Faculty and Staff Contemporary Leader Award. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Patricia James Oehmke on being selected for this award, and welcome her to the program to share remarks as the recipient of the first Contemporary Award, one of two. Dr. Oehmke.
Woo! Thank you so much for that, Tammye, for that rousing introduction. However, I have just one tiny correction. As far as the 1980 Olympics, I qualified for the trials, and because the trials were unable to be held, I therefore was never qualified for the actual games. So I want to make sure I correct that record. But Tammye was close, but our government nixed that. So for my notes for acceptance, congratulations to all the award winners. Congratulations to the committee for putting together this absolutely fabulous program, and for championing the recognition and organization for the Black Faculty Staff Administrators Association. I'm humbled and honored by this award, because working on campus has been one of the most life-changing and enlightening experiences, of course, that I've ever had. The acknowledgements of, I'd like to acknowledge the students, faculty, staff for sharing their experiences with me on campus and for also allowing me to work with them they guided me, I sometimes guided them, and the mentoring that we each had in exchange for making sure that our campus was a place where people felt comfortable when the infrastructure of the campus could have been very different. I'd like to congratulate people as we helped each person navigate their academic, social, and professional interests. And this is with both faculty, staff, and students. There are 3 people that I think of that were instrumental in my career at Michigan State, and I have one who was Dr. James Hamilton. I first met him when I was an undergrad student, and I was trying to find my way into a chemistry class that when I went to the chemistry department, they basically told me that I couldn't get into the class. And so I ran into an African-American person who I had no idea and do not remember them, but they told me, you have to go talk to Dr. James Hamilton because he can navigate, he can navigate and he can get you into that class. So there I go to the administration building, find Dr. Hamilton, and he said, by the time you leave my office and get to the chemistry department, you will be in class. Certainly, as soon as I left, went to the chemistry department, I was there. That was my first indication that you can navigate this campus whether people want you to or not. The second person is Moses Turner. He was my PhD support because I did have advisors who were not as supportive. I did have people that tell me, you don't need a PhD, that's for other people. Dr. Turner was on his way out of the institution, and I remember it was a November day. He called me into his office and he said, I will be leaving the institution in January or February, and I want you to have your PhD. And I just stood there and looked at him because I was all but dissertation, and he said, well, go, and I'll see you in January. So that was a person that was very instrumental to me. And then there was Dr. George Rowan. When I was at Michigan, when I was here, and he said, you're going to have to learn how to do organizational management and navigate this institution. And so he was very instrumental for me. So those are the 3 people at MSU, and other people are my family present and those that have passed on. And so I'd like to say thank you for this award and good luck for the organization and everyone else here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oehmke, for those remarks. And I am confident that you would have not only made those trials, but that you would have been a 1980 Olympian. I am confident of that. Again, congratulations. Taking just a brief point of personal privilege, I know that her husband, Dr. James Oehmke, is on the call, and her 2 daughters, Alex and Terry, are on the call. And Doctors Oehmke celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary today, having met as sweethearts at Michigan State University. So I do want to acknowledge that. So if you are a supporter, a family member, a colleague, a ride or die, whatever you are to Dr. Patty Oehmke, if you could show your support by using your hand raise feature so that we can take a brief moment to acknowledge you in this space. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations, Dr. Oehmke. Our next speaker is LaDonna Croffe. She is the Assistant Director of Citizen Scholars in the Arts and Letters College. She's in the College of Arts and Letters. She will introduce our next 2022 MSU BFSAA Contemporary Leader Award recipient, Lauren Gaines McKenzie. Please help me welcome LaDonna Croffe to the program.
Thank you so much, Tammye. I appreciate you, and thank you, everyone. I am pleased to introduce Lauren Gaines McKenzie, who came to Michigan State University in the fall of 2001 as an undergraduate student. She was an honor student and served as an aide for the Office of Racial Ethnic Student Affairs during her undergraduate experience. She currently serves as a Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the College of Communication, Arts, and Sciences. She is passionate about helping colleagues develop and exercise critical consciousness in their everyday lives. In addition to her work, Lauren is a doctoral student in the College of Education, where she is wrapping up her dissertation, Exploring Black Motherhood in Academia. She has worked diligently over the years to expand opportunities for marginalized students through her current and past work. She believes that the creation of systems that assist students in succeeding is paramount to her work and is at the center of everything she does on behalf of students. While students request her assistance in navigating systems, Lauren works to help them understand the tools of self-advocacy so that they may continue to be successful in all their circumstances beyond her help. Lauren has a keen ability to help develop practices and procedures that will enhance student success. She has seen many changes in her time at MSU and is looking forward to seeing the dream of a freestanding multicultural center become a reality. In addition, she is excited to have the opportunity to be a more inclusive campus focused on ensuring all campus community members have access to resources to assist them in achieving and reaching personal goals. She is very optimistic about the future of MSU, especially with a strong focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Mrs. Lauren Gaines McKenzie is most deserving of being selected as one of the 2022 MSU BFSAA Historical Leaders for her serving as a vessel of inspiration to numerous young scholars by helping them see that your circumstance does not have to be your legacy. Mrs. Lauren Gaines McKenzie is therefore granted the 2022 MSU BFSAA Contemporary Leader Award. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Lauren Gaines McKenzie and welcome her now for remarks.
Thank you so much, LaDonna. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to keep my remarks brief because I have a young scholar here with me at this very moment. I want to thank the Black Faculty, Staff, and Administrators Association for creating opportunities to acknowledge members of the MSU community. And I would also like to thank the very generous individuals that nominated me for this award, Dr. Carrie Schuler-Lopez, Dr. Alyssa Hadley-Dunn, and my very thoughtful student assistant, Lily Cross. As LaDonna shared, I have been fortunate to spend the past 21 years at Michigan State University, where as an undergraduate student, I could not have imagined the profound impact that Black faculty, staff, and administrators would have on my life. Some of those individuals include Betty Sanford, Natavia Curry, Paulette Granberry Russell, Murray Edwards, Tammye Coles, and Teresa Maston, just to name a few. So I've had the privilege of experiencing Michigan State as an undergraduate student, a graduate student, and now as a DEI director. And I think every experience has really helped define who I am as a leader and who I aspire to be. So again, I want to thank you so much for this honor. I'm very grateful. And I truly look forward to serving in ways that make all the people who made this possible for me very proud. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to go on and say Dr. McKenzie Gaines McKenzie, because it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. So thank you so much, and congratulations again. If there are any supporters on the call or on the Zoom who have their cameras on, please show your support by using your raise hand or your wave feature or your applause feature, and give a shout out to Dr. in the future, Lauren Gaines McKenzie, for receiving this award. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Dr. Denise Troutman, Associate Professor in the Department of Writing, Rhetoric, and American Cultures, and the Department of Linguistics and Languages, and MSU BFSAA Executive Board member. She will introduce the 2022 Inspirational Leader Award recipient posthumously to Dr. Joan Jackson Johnson. Please help me welcome Dr. Denise Troutman to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. I want to remind us that we have 2 minutes, and when you hear music play in the background, It's your signal that your 2 minutes are up. We're not trying to be rude. We just want to remain timely. So let me go ahead with the presentation for Dr. Joan Jackson Johnson. She came to Michigan State University from Tampa, Florida in 1969, the same year that Black Faculty, Staff, and Administrators Association was founded. She received her bachelor's degree from Edward Waters College, where she was an honor student and Miss Edward Waters College. She was recruited to Michigan State University to pursue her master's and PhD, which she completed. Thereafter, she went on to have an exceptional and outstanding career in public service. While at MSU, Joan and her husband witnessed many changes as the institution became more diverse. Dr. Jackson Johnson, considered herself to be a lifetime Spartan and was grateful for all the opportunities that MSU extended to her, which in turn allowed her to offer opportunities to others. Dr. Jackson Johnson was a clinical psychologist who served the Greater Lansing community with love and care. As Director of Human Relations and Community Service Department for the City of Lansing, Triple J focused on food security, the homeless, and improving the lives of the poor. She led innovative programs helping the neediest, including the monthly mobile food pantry, weekend survival kits, Connect 4 Kids, One Church, One Family, Feed the Babies, Keep Them Dry, and many others. For a decade, she sponsored an annual Christmas donation drive to raise funds for organizations that help the homeless and those in need. Often she could be found at Advent House on Sunday mornings, helping to cook a hearty breakfast for the needy. She served on many boards, such as the Tri-County Office on Aging, Michigan Prisoner Reentry Steering Committee, and the Community Coalition for Youth. She received many awards, such as the NAACP Citizen of the Year, Michigan Women's Hall of Fame, and Advent House Volunteer of the Year. Indeed, Dr. Jackson Johnson was a woman of integrity and an inspiration to all of the Greater Lansing area. Her strong faith in God, along with her commitment to helping others succeed, made her an exceptional recipient. Therefore, for her outstanding and unwavering dedication to the community and her inspiration to others through her everyday approach in action and in life, it is our great pleasure to bestow upon Dr. Joan Jackson Johnson posthumously the 2022 MSU BFSAA Inspirational Leader Award. Please, everyone, help me welcome her husband, Mr. Vern Johnson, who will provide remarks on behalf of the family. He is joined by their children and grandchildren.
Yes, thank you very much. I'd like to really thank the MSU Black Faculty, Staff, and Administrative Association for recognizing my wife, Joan. Joan was a very special person, not only to the community, but to my life also. As you said, she got a PhD in 1976 and started a psychology profession business in East Lansing about 1981, and did that up until she was hired by Virgil Bernero, the mayor of Lansing, to be head of the Human Relations and Community Service Award, Community Service Division. One of the things that Joan did is that during our life, we always reached out, she always reached out to the community to do something. And she started a program at St. Thomas Aquinas where we were adopting families that for Christmas. Started about 25 to 30 families where she would get people to donate money to buy gifts, Christmas gifts, and given to people in the community. She went on to, when she got with the city of Lansing, one of the things that Verge told her is that you could do a lot more if you come work with me. And so she finally decided to work for the city of Lansing. And as I said, she started the food bank where we would actually deliver food to the community on the third, fourth Saturday of each month. She did that for several years. She reached out to a lot of the agency in the community that worked with the homeless and the such as Advent House, Molson Fishes, the VA and Mission. And Joan was really I was one of the people always said, I don't think we could do all this. And one of the things she kept telling me that we'll figure it out. So I was always the one who would say, are you sure that we can do all this and stuff like that? But she was always looking to do stuff within the community. A lot of the churches and stuff used to call her at night when they couldn't find someone to, if someone needed shelter or some food or stuff like that. She would call the VA or somebody, hey, I got this person that needs shelter for tonight. Can you help me? And they will always do that because Joan was always active in helping them and funding and stuff like that, especially through the city of Lansing. And she is a special person. I really like to say thank you for honoring her. She is a lady that is really has touched a lot of lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, I always call you Dr. Johnson because that's just who I think you are as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. And as you said, Dr. Johnson's legacy absolutely is going to continue to live through you and through her children and her grandchildren. And so I know that they are on the call. And so if you are a supporter, if Dr. Johnson has helped you, if you have seen any of Dr. Johnson's work, if you have gone down to the food kitchen and served, if you have had any connection to Dr. Johnson, please use your applause, your raise hand feature, and give her a shout out to heaven and thank her for all of her work, and certainly give a shout out to her family as well. And we're just so privileged and honored to have been able to share this honor today with you and your family. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So next on our program is the Community Award. And this award is given to a community leader, and we shared earlier what that award was for. So the next person who I'm going to introduce is someone that I know pretty well, is Mr. James Douglas Coles IV. He is a 2020 Morehouse College finance graduate and a soon-to-be law school candidate. He will introduce the 2022 Community Leader Award recipient, Miss Pamela Eaton Champion. And please help me welcome Mr. James Douglas Coles IV to the stage.
Thank you, Mom. Good evening. It is my honor to introduce Miss Pamela Eaton Champion, CEO and owner of Pam's Preschool Program and Pam's Academy of Champions. Miss Eaton Champion is a proud graduate of Sexton High School and received her BA in Early Childhood Education from Eastern Michigan University. After completing her degree, Miss Eaton Champion began to pursue her lifelong dream of owning her own school, a dream that she has had since her childhood. She shares that through God's grace, personal determination, a loving family, a legacy of an entrepreneurial mindset in her family, she was able to realize her dream of owning her own private school focused on providing a high quality educational experience grounded in Christian principles and values from infants to fourth grade. The educational experience children encountered at her school is a unique learning environment that allows all children to succeed and reach well beyond their potential. I should know personally. The teachers at the school provide an exceptional learning experience for students, laying the foundation for success for students as they matriculate through their academic experience. Parents have found the school to be exceptional and have appreciated the opportunities extended to their children while students at the school. Miss Eaton Champion has been the recipient of numerous awards, including the City of Lansing Community Service Award, School Choice Leadership Award 2020 recognition in providing all children with access to effective education options, tribute to women in leadership, a seat at the table, State Representative Sarah Anthony 2021, just to name a few. Her students have also been recognized for their accomplishments, including winning first place at the Olivet College Youth Gospel Talent Show, and the PAMS Academy of Champions Trio had the honor of signing the national anthem at Governor Whitmer's inauguration, as well as performing an original song for Governor Whitmer at the governor's inaugural luncheon. Miss Eaton Champion is a kind of rare educator that understands the diverse nature of all students and understands that each student deserves and needs a customized education. While Miss Eaton Champion has sacrificed much to realize her dream, she considers it a privilege to have opportunity to build the next generation of leaders on a daily basis who will impact the greater society. Miss Eaton Champion is most deserving of being selected as a 2022 MSU BFSAA Community Leader, being an exceptional educator and broker of the gateway to dreams and success. Miss Eaton Champion is therefore granted the 2022 MSU BFSAA Inspirational Leader Award. Please join me again in congratulating Miss Eaton Champion on being selected for this award and welcome her to the program to share remarks as an award recipient.
Thank you, James, for that wonderful introduction. What a blessing to be introduced by a former student who is now a Morehouse graduate and will be entering law school in the fall of 2022. I'm so proud of you, James. Your educational foundation began at PAMS Academy of Champions. It is so exciting to see the fruits of quality early childhood education. Just look at you now. Thank you, MSU faculty and staff Administrators Association. It is such an honor to be acknowledged by my people, and I say my people. Being recognized by your own is extra special, and I'm so deeply grateful for the Community Leader Award given to me from your organization. I'd also like to thank Dr. Foster for nominating me for the Community Leader Award. Dr. Foster, you are an outstanding pioneer in agricultural education. Your innovation in promoting agriculture is exceptional. We at PAMS have your picture hanging on the classroom wall for all the students to see and know that everyday heroes are right here in our community. Our youngsters need to know that they don't have to be famous and on TV to see greatness. Thank you, Dr. Foster, for your inspiration. I see many of my current and past teachers are here today to see me receive this Community Leader Award. But really, all the teachers past and present from PAMS Academy Champions are all community leaders, and you should definitely be acknowledged for your contribution to the youth that you've educated. Thank you. Thank you to all the parents who are here today and every parent who so graciously picked up your child early from PAMS Academy of Champions today. There is a huge mural hanging in our multi-purpose room that says, "It takes a village to raise a child." Parents, as you know, it takes home, school, and child, all of us as a village, to educate your child and raise strong front runners. Thank you for your continuous support and taking time out of your busy schedule to witness me being acknowledged today. And hello to the many students at PAMS who are watching. See you tomorrow morning. I also want to say thank you to my finer sorority sisters of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated for supporting me today. Thank you for your sisterly love and working together, promoting education and scholarship. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority has played a big part in my community leadership. I also want to acknowledge and say thank you to my sisters of the Greater Lansing Area Club, of the Negro Business and Professional Women's Club Incorporated. Your attendance today is greatly appreciated. Your love and support mean a great deal and the world to me, and I appreciate you. I would not be here today without the support of my family, who has been a tremendous role model. As a little girl, at the age of 4, I lost my mom and my dad. I'm so thankful to God that I had grandparents, aunts, and uncles who taught me the right from wrong. Thank you to my Uncle Gregory Eaton, my sister Dr. Sharieka Eaton, who are both community leaders and who have been a continuous support throughout my lifetime. Thank you to my Aunt Joy, who provides instruction every month to the youth at Payne's Academy. Thank you to my sister Nikki and my many cousins who have joined today. And last, but certainly most important, thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Eaton Champion, for acknowledging this award and also providing remarks. If you are a former student of Miss Eaton Champion, if you are a family member, if you are a parent, or if you are a community supporter of Pamela Eaton Champion, owner of Pam's Academy of Champions, please use your raised hand feature, your hand clap, raise your hand, hallelujah, whatever you want to use, and give her some acknowledgement for being the recipient of the 2022 MSU Black Faculty and Staff Association Community Leader Award. Congratulations again, Miss Eaton Champion. Next, we are going to bring to the stage Dr. Lee June. Dr. Lee June is a professor in the Department of Psychology and the Honors College and is the former Vice President of Student Affairs and Services at Michigan State University. He will introduce one of our 2022 MSU Black Faculty and Staff Association historical leaders, who this year, one of them is Dr. Ralph Bonner Sr. This award will be presented to him posthumously. He will be followed by Jevelyn Bonner as well being awarded. And so we're going to go in sequential order. So we're going to go with Dr. June first, and then I'm going to come back and introduce Dr. Debra Thornton, and she's going to introduce Dr. Jevelyn Bonner. And then we're going to close out that segment of our program with Mr. Ralph Bonner Jr., who will give remarks on behalf of the family. So I won't make Ralph come back twice. I'll just have you come once and give your remarks as you had requested. So Dr. June, you are up to bat first. Please welcome Dr. Lee June.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Cole. Dr. Ralph Wyoming Bonner, born October 15, 1931, and died on May 24th, 2013. And I was also honored to give remarks at his funeral.
I was watching it with Aaron.
He is being honored as one of the posthumously individuals today. He was raised by his grandparents, Amanda and Samuel Bonner, in Cleveland, Ohio. And if you ever had the chance to know him well, he had many stories to tell about his upbringing. He received his BA degree from Elmhurst College in Political Science and Sociology, his MA degree in Social Work from Ohio State University, and his PhD from Michigan State University. In 1965, Dr. Bonner and his family came to the Lansing area to serve as the first executive director of the Lansing Urban League. In '68, he became the first Urban League program officer, for which a highway project in Michigan was named. Dr. Bonner began working at Michigan State University, where he most notably served as special advisor to the president and director of the Office of Affirmative Action, Compliance, and Monitoring. That's what it was known in those days. When he left, the office name was changed to Inclusion and Intercultural Initiatives, and the office is now called Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity. Dr. Bonner was a giant, both physically and academically. He was over, I think, about 6'3" or 6'4", so he had a presence physically as well as academically. He was known literally for his deep and resounding voice that made an impact wherever you encountered him. So if Tammye was walking down the hall, he would say, "Tammye Coles." That's the way and he also had an excellent memory in terms of remembering people. His voice also was a voice for those who were silenced. And so he spoke on the behalf of people who did not have a voice. He was unwavering in his commitment to advancing diversity at Michigan State University. He was also a proud member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, because if you would notice, he'd wear his medallion as he walked out of the president's office. He was also a tenured faculty member, and he continued to teach courses upon leaving his administrative role. And therefore, he affected many future scholars through the classroom as well as student athletes. He saw the changing administration of many presidents, serving under 6 presidents at Michigan State University, but he continued to help hold people accountable. He would often say, there's no virtue in being better than someone else, but the only virtue is being better than someone else. He was married to his better half, who is going to be introduced later, for 57 years. And they are the proud parents of 5 children, all of whom he loved dearly. And he would also tell stories about each of them: Ralph Jr., Adrienne, Gail, Derek, and Jevelyn Denise. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Bonner on being selected for this award. And Tammye, I can't remember, does his son come up now or later to make remarks? But anyway, join me in congratulating Dr. Bonner for all of his major contributions to Michigan State University.
So we all know that Dr. Bonner and Jevelyn were like a collective. When you got one, you got the other. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce Debra Thornton, who is going to introduce Jevelyn Bonner as another historical award recipient. And then I am going to ask Ralph Bonner Jr. to come up and give remarks on behalf of the family. And so, as you know, each person gets 2 minutes to respond to the award. So Ralph Bonner will have 4 minutes, not because he is special. I mean, Ralph is special. If you know Ralph is special. But he gets 2 minutes for his mother and he gets 2 minutes for his father. But if you know Ralph, he's a man of few words, so I'm sure it will not take 4 minutes. So I now would like to bring to the stage Mrs. Debra Thornton. She is the lead advisor and academic director in the neighborhoods. She just the hold it down sister. She makes sure people get in and makes sure people get out. So she is going to introduce Mrs. Jevelyn Bonner. And I do know Ms. Bonner is on the call. Ms. Thornton?
Yes, it is an honor for me to introduce Ms. Jevelyn Bonner today as the one of the 3 2022 BFSAA Historical Leader recipients. Ms. Bonner received her bachelor's BA from Ohio State University and went on to receive her master's at Michigan State University. In 1965, she moved to the Greater Lansing area so her husband could serve as an inaugural executive director of the Urban League. She continued to support his many professional pursuits. In addition to supporting her family, Ms. Bonner was also a strong advocate of providing educational opportunities to students that may be disenfranchised from the educational system. She believed in doing all that she could to inspire and support students and help them feel like they belonged in higher education spaces and that they had the talents and skills to succeed. She worked tirelessly to advocate for more resources and practices and procedures that promote student success. She was known for her calm demeanor, allowing students to feel that they could do anything and that Ms. Bonner was going to help them reach their goals and dreams. Ms. Jevelyn Bonner is most deserving of being selected as one of the 2022 MSU BFSAA Historical Leaders for serving as a heartbeat of hope for countless generations of scholars. And I'm getting emotional because I just want to, most of you may not, probably all of you don't know, this means it's an honor for me to be able to say this about Ms. Bonner, because when I was at Michigan State University, floundering around, not knowing where I was going to go, not what I was going to do, on academic probation, first generational college student in my family. I remember going in to meet with her. And as a student, not feeling that I belonged just because of how I was performing, Ms. Bonner talked with me, encouraged me, but made me feel like I did belong. And it's to this day that I have shared with students. So I'm doing the very same thing that your mother did. I'm doing the same thing for other young people. And I just thank her because I am where I am today because of her influence in helping me find my path, find a major, succeeding, and graduating from Michigan State University. So I just want to, from a personal experience as well, thank you. And congratulate you.
And next, thank you, Debra, so much for sharing that story of your interactions with Ms. Bonner. We really, truly, truly appreciate you taking time out to be on the Zoom call today. I will next bring up Mr. Ralph Bonner Jr. And as you can see, he is very much the blend of his mother and his father. And he will give remarks on behalf of the Bonner family. Mr. Bonner?
Thank you very much, Tammye. I got to tell you, it's tough coming behind these two introductions for my parents. They really captured both of them tremendously. You could argue that my parents were one of the first influential Black power couples within the university, and they were incredibly well positioned to really impact everybody who touched the university, where it was faculty, staff, as well as students. That was their unique position of what they filled within the university. And my dad, as the affirmative action officer, worked tirelessly to make sure that the faculty and staff at the university were provided equal opportunities to everything that they aspired to do, whether they worked there, wanted advancement. They made sure underrepresented populations got fair shots at jobs, ensuring that job openings were filled in public and that they weren't filled by the old boys network. He worked as a mentor and counselor to countless people at the school, providing directions for how to constructively engage their experience with the university, as well as helping them to avoid the landmines that he saw derail other careers. My dad was also instrumental, very creative in providing opportunities for minority-owned and women-owned businesses looking to secure contracts with the university. And by breaking down huge contract opportunities into smaller projects, it really gave underrepresented firms the opportunity to bid on those jobs based on expertise and simply not on the scale of a smaller business. If my dad was the one that impacted the faculty and staff and business partners at the university, my mom, as you just heard, represented, she was the foot soldier of the couple. She dealt directly with the students. And as an academic advisor, she provided a supportive and nurturing role for all students, but especially minority students whose needs were often misunderstood by the academic advisor community at large. She would help teach students how to study, who to study with, how to just basically keep students in school and to provide them with the resources they needed versus weeding them out, which sometimes would happen in a big university like this. She would advise students on what majors to take, what classes to take. And she would also help to improve and increase utilization of students of critical resources such as tutors and teacher aid. She was an expert in helping students identify these three areas. She worked with me on it. She worked with my son who just graduated in December on it. And this was her key. What are your interests? What are your strengths? And what are your weaknesses? And we're going to develop a program to allow you to not only survive, but to thrive in this college experience that you're about to have. Her expertise in this area became so well known that faculty members themselves would refer people to my mother if they had students that they were concerned about how they were progressing in class. And so together, these two, in their different roles, but still common interests in making sure that everybody who interacted with the university got a fair shake and a fair share. They helped the university become a welcoming place to all people and to have a successful experience interacting with the university. And on behalf of my family, I want to thank everybody involved in nominating my parents for this award. And from a family that includes 11 people that have gone on to Michigan State, we thank you very much and go green.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bonner, for those remarks. I certainly want to take just a brief moment of personal privilege and acknowledge the children that are on the line who are, as Mr. Bonner mentioned, Mr. Bonner himself, Adrian Bonner, Gail Bonner, Derek Bonner, Jevelyn Denise Bonner. And as he mentioned, we have another generation of Spartans in Brandon Foster and Derek Bonner as well as a niece is here at Michigan State as well, Devin as well. So, and I saw a couple things on Facebook and they already have given somebody else some MSU gear. So I'm sure we're getting down to the fourth generation. So thank you so much for joining us on this call today. And we thank you so much for sharing your parents, because that's exactly what you did, because I'm sure it was at much sacrifice for them to do what they were able to do. If you are a supporter of the Bonner family, if you were in Jack and Jill, if you are an Alpha, a AKA, if you lived on Ann Street, if you were a past student, whatever you are to the Bonner family, I ask that you use your hand feature, raise your hand feature, your hand clap, raise your hand, whatever you have to acknowledge the work and sacrifice of two of our 2022 historical leaders for Black Faculty and Staff Association. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to move to our last recipient, and by no means last is not least. Dr. Patty Oehmke, even though she was a recipient after having a very brief conversation over a phone call, which we often do over the lunch hour, it was evident that she had to be the one to introduce our next historical recipient, who is Mrs. Geraldine Potter. And as mentioned before, Dr. Oehmke is the Associate Director in the Recreational Sports and Fitness Services area and is the IM Facilities Manager in the IM East. So I bring back to our stage one of our 2022 Contemporary Leader Award recipients, but she is now going to introduce our final recipient for this category, Mrs. Geraldine Potter. Dr. Oehmke.
Well, I have a dubious honor because Mrs. Potter is with me. So if I turn my if I turn my camera, hopefully you can see her as well. We're in my office. But Mrs. Geraldine Potter, she came to Michigan State University in 1974 after completing technical school. She served in several capacities on the campus of Michigan State University, and she is most widely known as the Member Services Manager in the Department of Recreational Sports and Fitness Services, where she retired from. She worked in the IM Circle building, which is historically known as the Women's IM, and she has been very, very instrumental in personal growth experiences for both students, faculty, and staff on campus. She has a strong faith in God. She worked hard to serve as a beacon of hope to students, basically to those students she hired, she mentored, supported, and helped navigate the university system. Mrs. Potter is still helping students navigate the system because we do have some students on campus that are food insecure. And so Mrs. Potter and I work together getting those students some food so that they can continue their experiences at Michigan State. Mrs. Potter has seen many changes in administration, but was always struck the most by the sometimes decreasing diversity in students on campus. She believes that her time at MSU was filled with daily opportunities to impact the lives of young people, and this is what she enjoyed most about her job. Mrs. Potter is also very active in her church. She has served for several decades or several years as the Greater Lansing MLK Commissioner, and she has served with distinction in this capacity, bringing various speakers to the city to help us celebrate the successes and accolades of Martin Luther King Jr. She has helped us forge the commission to the prominence that it is held in our community today. Mrs. Potter is most deserving of being selected as one of the 2022 MSU Black Faculty Staff Administration Association Historical Leaders for her serving as a vessel of inspiration to numerous young scholars by helping them see that your circumstances do not have to be your legacy. Mrs. Potter is therefore granted the 2022 MSU BFSAA Historical Leader Award. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Potter on being selected for this award and welcome her to share some of her remarks. Just leave it there.
Thank you, Patty, for that introduction. And I'd like to make one correction since Dr. Lee June is in our midst tonight. He is the speaker chair and I'm the program singers. I get the singers for the Dr. Martin Luther King. And we've had several good speakers. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all that received an award tonight. And I would like to thank the Black faculty, staff, administrators, and association for this award. When I got the call, I was totally shocked. I thought, me? Because I'm always used to giving out to people, but I guess it's good to receive sometime too. And I'm very thankful and humble to receive this award. And my tenure here at Michigan State has been phenomenal and very amazing. I've met people from all over the globe. You might say Africa. I met them from China, Brazil. Actually, they began to call me mother. My boss told me, Dr. Sierra told me one time, Geraldine, you really get a little too close to the students. But that was just me and my makeup and my demeanor. So I'm very thankful to receive this award. And I'd like to just name a few people who helped me during my stay here at Michigan State. And may I say, Michigan State is just a great place to work. When I began to think about retiring, I told Dr. Sierra, I just love my job. So I would like to thank a few people who helped me along the way while I was here at Michigan State. First of all, I started out in 1585, and I went from there to the clerical technical positions. And I want to thank Carol Harding. When I got ready to retire, I called her up and I said, I'm getting ready to retire. And it was right around Christmas time, and she said, Geraldine, you made my Christmas. But had not it been for her giving me the job, I would have probably just stayed in 1580, doing something that I didn't like to do, but I wanted to grow and be more successful. Carol Harding was the one who gave me the job at Engineer Sports. And Dr. Frank Beeman, what can I say about him? He was such a nice, kind soul. Dr. Sierra, after he retired, Dr. Beeman retired, Dr. Sierra was named the director of Engineer Sports. And Russ Ribbett was my immediate supervisor. Even Patty was my supervisor at one time. I had several. Last but not least, I love Michigan State so much, I'm still here, you guys. I'm still here working as a cashier, handing out, selling breakfast and lunch passes. It's just a fun place to work. Last but not least, I'd like to name Miss Brenda Nelson, who's a fine person. I love her very dearly. Brenda Nelson, she told me she was going to be tuning in tonight. So Brenda, I hope you're listening. Again, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I would like to end by saying peace and love. Love is the greatest. As we're getting ready to celebrate the Holy Week, we thank God, and I want to wish everyone a wonderful Resurrection Day. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Potter, for that fabulous remarks. Thank you, Dr. Oehmke, for introducing her. I want to thank all of the presenters, from LaDonna Croffe to Ralph Bonner, to Dr. June, to Debra Thornton, to Patty Oehmke, to James Coles, and all of the recipients who were honored here today. It is just, it's like it was a family reunion today. I want to take one more opportunity to acknowledge all of the wonderful honorees, and we are proud to have had this opportunity to acknowledge you. The awards are very special to this organization, and we seek to highlight the many historical and current contributions of our distinguished honorees in advancing the MSU Black community. We are proud to highlight and showcase leaders with the distinction of legacy of service and commitment to Michigan State University, as well as their unwavering commitment to Michigan State University Black community and beyond. It has been an honor to serve as your host for this segment of our program. I thank Black Faculty and Staff Association for the honor of serving as your host and chair of the BFSAA Awards Committee. And I want to also thank the Friday Night Sisterhood, who was on calls to try to pull all of this stuff together. And I want to thank all of the family and friends here as well. Before I close out, I got a little bit ahead of myself. So if you are a family member of Miss Geraldine Potter, if you are a former student, if you are a colleague, if you are a former girlfriend of one of her dates of one of her gorgeous sons, if you are one of her church members, if Miss Potter had any impact on your life, I ask that you take a moment and put a hand raised up or the hand clap feature, whatever, to acknowledge and let her know that you appreciate her service and all of her investment in young people. Really appreciate that. I will now turn the program over to Ariel Arnold, and she will introduce our emerging undergraduate and graduate student leader award recipients. And again, thank you so much for joining us for this segment of the program, and have a nice evening and safe travels wherever you may be going after this Zoom call. Thank you. Ariel?
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Ariel Arnold, and I work for the TRIO SSS program, and I am a Hill doctoral student here at MSU. I am also a member of the Emerging Leaders Committee and have the great honor of introducing one of our emerging leaders for our undergraduate student. Destiny Todd is a native of Battle Creek, Michigan. She is majoring in physiology with a minor in bioethics. Destiny made the Dean's List in 2019-2021 and has participated in research through the Lyman Briggs Chemistry Research Fair, as well as MSU Undergraduate Research Fair. Lastly, she has served as a campus leader through her various student employees roles and student organizations like Black Girl Fitness and the Minority Association of Pre-Medical Students. Thank you for your excellent work, Destiny, and you are our emerging leader for our campus. Destiny Todd.
Hi, I'm Destiny. I just wanted to thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. My supervisor at my job from University Advancement was the one who nominated me, Mitchell Avant, and I really appreciate him and all of his help, and all of my advisors for Michigan State who've just helped me so much. I had acknowledged in the chat earlier Erica Cruz, my advisor in the Honors College, who's been a huge part of my success here at MSU, and I now work for them and was offered a job by the Assistant Dean of the Honors College, Dr. German. They've all been so inviting to me, and I just really have loved my time here at MSU and all the people I've gotten the chance to meet and all the opportunities that they've given me here. So thank you.
All right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Philip Seaborn, and I will be introducing the Emerging Leader Award for our graduate student. And so tonight I have the honor of introducing Sharieka Botex. And so Sharieka is a PhD candidate in the MSU Rhetoric and Writing program. She has stated that she is blessed to do work she loves and to serve in leadership positions. During her time in her program, she has received awards and been involved in various groups and initiatives, all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Some of Sharieka's highlights include the 2022 Michigan State University Outreach and Engagement Graduate Student Award for Community Engagement Scholarship for Shaping Society Through Scholarship and Action. In 2021 and 2022, she was a Michigan State University Graduate Leadership Institute Coordinator. In 2020 through 21, she was a Michigan State University Graduate Leadership Institute Fellow. And then in the fall of 2020 and spring of 2021, she volunteered with Daughters of the Collective. So in closing, I'll leave you with an excerpt from Sharieka's personal statement. Even when people challenge my work and don't think it's worthy of supporting, I continue on and find people willing to rise to the challenge and work with me. Every move towards progress will not be supported or acknowledged, but every move should move people to enhance their lives and society and continue the legacy of those who knew that leadership does not require a title, but requires saying what needs to be said and doing what needs to be done. So with that, please join me in celebrating and congratulating Sharieka on the 2022 Emerging Leader Award. Sharieka, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for that great introduction. I was going to be speechless anyway after getting an education tonight about all the inspiring work that everybody is doing, but hearing people introduce me definitely makes me grateful and blessed by God to have the opportunity to do this stuff. So good evening. I would ask, how are you all doing this evening? And I still will, even though it's not a situation where I can hear everybody responding back, but I'm sure the music is going to play on me. So I'll try to be as graceful as Destiny was. in her remarks and as everybody else has been, but it's an honor and pleasure to be here with everyone and to be recognized for the Black Faculty, Staff, and Administrators Association Emerging Leaders Award. I would like to start by thanking God for the opportunity to be here with all of you. It is a tremendous honor to be a part of such an uplifting event. Congratulations to the other BFSAA award recipients. Like I said, tonight has been an education and a truly inspiring one at that. I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Denise Troutman for nominating me for the award and for being one of the various people at Michigan State University who have supported me and uplifted me and served as an extraordinary example for being continually committed to community engaged work. I want to thank each member of the Historical and Emerging Leaders Committee who considered my nomination. And what I've been fortunate to learn about the award from Dr. Troutman, I am honored and I'm humbled to be considered for this award. Dr. Troutman informed me that BFSAA started the presentation of the Emerging Leader Award in 2017 when Dr. Eunice Foster was serving as president. So I am grateful that the legacy of honoring and celebrating the work of MSU students has continued and to be a recipient of the award in this 5th year. Among the work I've been really fortunate to do at MSU has been shaping society through scholarship and action. And it's really good and uplifting to see some of the people who were tremendously supportive in that event and making it possible tonight, including Dr. Troutman. And the event was an event that I think, like much of the work in this room, definitely spotlighted the need for uplifting Black excellence and celebrating that. And so there are people that were involved in the event: Dr. Ruth Nicole Brown, Dr. Tamira Lomax of AAAS, Dr. Natasha Jones of RAC, and Dr. Tamara Butler, who is the executive director of the Avery Research Center, the NAACP, which was represented by Dr. Reverend Verse Williams, Carrington Kelsey, who represented One Love Global and Lansing Black Lives Matter, Elizabeth Stepnowski, who represented the South Lansing Urban Garden, Dr. Chandra Marshall, who represented the Michigan State University alumni, and Jalea Rutledge, who represented the Michigan State University. I think the music is coming on, but I do want to shout out the other graduate students, Constance Haywood and Olivia Furman. And it's important for me to say these people's names because understanding the work of people as they're here and as they have passed on, like many of the legacies that have been remembered tonight, is important. And people have made tremendous contributions to me. Lastly, I just want to say that being nominated for this specific award is a blessing that has resulted in me learning more about BFSA's history of acknowledging and celebrating the excellence and contributions of Black people at MSU. And working to learn more about this organization and referring to Dr. Troutman, I learned that according to Dr. Foster, part of the history of acknowledging the work of Black people at MSU began in 2011 under the presidency of Dr. Matt Anderson. During 2011, BFSAA recognized Drs. Bob Green, Thomas Gunnings, and Joseph McMillan. So I'm honored to be here and acknowledged among those people and those acknowledged tonight. And I just want to say that such a history and the recipients of the award illustrates that Black people on MSU's campus and in the surrounding community have continually invested in doing work that positively impacts other people, the campus, and society. Along with BFSAA's contributions and the work are evidenced in the beautiful 2021 Juneteenth celebration that they helped to present. And I am grateful I had the chance to listen to members then and that I've had the chance to listen to them now. And I just want to say that I thank you all for the work you're doing to shed light on perspectives, visions, and providing guidance for members of the community, both on campus and in the larger community. And I look forward to connecting with you all at another time. Stay blessed.
All right, thank you, and congratulations. So following Tammy's line, if you are here in support of any of our emerging leaders, please go ahead and select the reaction button, a raise hand, a hand clap, a thumbs up. And again, we celebrate those both individuals for their accomplishments. And we reiterate and remind you that we will send you a $500 scholarship in the next few weeks here. So congratulations on being selected for this opportunity. We are at the end, folks. And so I'm the last thing between you and maybe dinner and your family and things like that. And so I'm going to blaze through this, all right? So just in closing, I just want to share that my heart truly is full and my spirit is encouraged. Learning about these wonderful influencers has been so enriching. And to all of the awardees, I hope that you walk away knowing that this is a celebration for you. In many cases, whether it was said or not, you have done everything people said you couldn't do. This has been a moment that you get to stand with your head lifted high in pride, and knowing that we're all here with you, for you, and thanking you for bettering our community. Congratulations again. As we prepare to close this program for the evening, I want to ask each of you to help me celebrate and appreciate each person that has helped to coordinate and lead today's program. So if you can turn on your cameras, hit the reactions, and just thank each and every person that has helped lead today's event. I want to specifically name Denise Troutman, Eunice Foster, Sabrina Ford, Tammye Coles, Lee June, Debra Thornton, LaDonna Croffe, James Coles, Amber Benton, Philip Seaborn, Io Dare, Ariel Arnold, Debra Thornton. I want to thank the BFSAA Executive Committee for continuing to make the sacrifices of time, energy, and resources to make this event a success. And I also want to thank all of those that have submitted nominations. Thank you so much. You have been a pivotal part of making this event a success and bringing forth the names of those that we've been able to acknowledge over the past 6 years. We look forward to your 2023 nominations in the next few months. Finally, I want to personally appreciate the beloved community, the community that pushes us forward, the community that supports each other when times are tough, that community that holds us accountable to being and doing what is necessary for the world today. Thank you. It is your fervor that encourages us when times are tough. It's your encouragement that lifts our heads when we feel a little overwhelmed. It's your, it is your, love and our love for you that encourages us to continue to fight the good fight. It is the spirit of the beloved community that reminds us that we are never crushed, though we may experience affliction. That together we have a restored and strengthened spirit, though we went through a little suffering. It's you who reminds us that we are strong because we did not quit in the face of adversity. And we know in our coming together, we find joy because we're making good trouble. And if I can encourage you as we leave this space, I will reference our song of the night, Keep On Moving by The Impressions. I've got to keep on pushing. I can't stop now. Move up a little higher, some way, somehow. Now, maybe someday I'll reach that higher goal. I know I can make it because I've got my strength and it don't make sense not to keep on pushing. Thank you all and have an amazing night. God bless.